Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Adventures in Truth livecast. My name is Jim Kaehr. I am the host of the show, and I'm excited to be here today. And I'm excited that you're here today. And I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for dialing in, whether you're seeing us live or whether you're watching us on YouTube or whether you're seeing us on Facebook, wherever you're watching. We're glad you're here and glad you're a part of this exciting episode of Adventures in Truth. And today I am really excited to welcome back to the show my friend Shelley. She's an amazing human being who has done a ton of things, has written another new book, and continues to be a powerful force in the world of energy medicine and all that good stuff. So as we step in, I'm losing my track here a little bit today. I'm not quite sure why, but we will continue on. So the topic today, we are talking about I am where I want to be always. And this is an interesting topic for me because it speaks to a lot of things. There's one way you can look at this that is sort of a self-empowered experience. I am where I want to be always because I am the creator of my reality. And I understand that. And I understand that the things that show up are helping me move there. And there's another side of that, which is the challenging part where we have things in our lives that we're not sure about, or things that we're confused by, or things we're frustrated by. And those things add a different element to this idea of I'm where I want to be always. But ultimately, what we hope to do today is to have this conversation in a way that helps to evolve your understanding of why it's a good thing to be where you want to be always. And we're hopefully going to take that and kind of dissect it and talk through it. And Shelley will be with us here in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back and I'm going to share a little bit about my book, and then we'll go from there. All right. We'll see you in just a second. All right. I think I have to take a deep breath. I think it's time to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath with me, would you? Take a deep breath with me and let's just get grounded and focused. Had some technical issues coming in, kind of short-wired me a little bit. So I'm just going to take a minute here and just kind of settle in and talk about my book for real quick here. www.fearisachoicebook.com. I'd love for you to check out my book. It's a powerful book that's all about changing your relationship with fear. And that's really what everything I do is about changing our relationship with fear, that understanding fear is a choice, understanding we have the option of engaging fear and how we choose to engage it. And when you change that relationship with fear, it literally changes everything in your life because it opens you up in ways that you didn't realize you weren't open before. Because in that fear-based consciousness, in that fear-based experience, you're like looking through a monocle. You're limited in what you can see, what you can perceive, and what you can access, because the fear dumbs down your field and doesn't allow you to connect in the ways that you have the ability to do. So www.fearisachoicebook.com. Check it out. It's an amazing book. I think you'll find it very powerful. Thank you to everyone who has ordered, and love hearing the things that you're experiencing with the book and all the powerful connections you're making in your own life. So we appreciate you very much, and we'll be back right after this. All right, part two here is we are on a mission this year. That mission is the year of conscious creation. This is a self-proclaimed year of conscious creation. I think it's true for all of us all the time, but I'm making it a thing. And I'm making it a thing because I want us to, as human beings, I want us to come together in a positive place where we are impacting the mass conscious of our planet in a way that's creating amazing change. And the start of that is my world is good. The beginning of that is stepping into this understanding of my world is good, but the generation of that as well. See, 7.5 to 8 billion of us unique worlds inhabiting this one planet. And those unique worlds are all created by us individually. Even though we co-create much of it together, ultimately no one can create my life but me. And no one can change my life but me. And no one can live my life but me. And that's true for you and for you and for you and for you and for you. But what we can do is we can come together in an energy field that we create together consciously that begins to have a positive impact on the mass conscious. And that is what My World is Good is about. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your politics. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter anything. It doesn't matter. Your sexuality doesn't matter. Your sex doesn't matter. You, the human being, are what matter. You and your field showing up to this movement to say, I am choosing my year of conscious creation because my world is good, and my world is good, and it continues to be good. And so 10 times when you wake up first thing in the morning, laying in bed, 10 times, just run that through your head and see what changes throughout the course of your day. And before you go to bed at night, 10 more times. And then anytime throughout the day that you feel it, just say it. When you feel yourself moving in a direction that doesn't feel good, reinforce my world is good and bring yourself back into that alignment with yourself in a way that helps you to create new and more powerful outcomes for yourself. So starting at fear is a choice, understanding that fear dumbs us down, but the choice of bringing that energy up and the choice of engaging a neutral positive statement to move us forward into the world is a great way to make positive change in your life that you'll see, that you'll experience. And I hope as you see the posts and you see the engagement around that you'll share so that everyone else out there who's working through this, who's walking this path, can see how positively and amazing things change when you focus on something that simple. My world is good, because you lay a foundation of goodness in your space and you have to begin to see it. And the reason I say have to is because your perception is simply your beliefs and ideas and concepts and thoughts reflected back to you in the world that you see. So if you keep continuing to build my world is good, then you start to experience that goodness and it begins to change you from the inside out. So my world is good. Join the movement. Share it with all your friends. We love it. Hope you do too. Thank you for being a part of it. And now we're going to take another quick break. We're going to come back and Shelley's going to join us on the other side. We'll be right back. Hi, Shelley.
Hey, Jim. Guess what? My world is good. And guess what else is good? Your book, Fear is a Choice. Everybody, you need this book. I love it.
I do. Thank you. I love it too. I'm so glad you're here again. And I have to apologize because in all of my crazy, I'm ill prepared.
No, you're not.
And my ill preparedness, I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about you because I don't have it in front of me to say, here's Shelley. Although maybe I could pull it up real quick. But
well, you are wonderful and all is well, believe me. Listen, my friend, this last year, during all the things we've been going through, I've had to learn a lot of technological things. And sometimes, you know what? We can do them, and sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't.
And sometimes they don't.
But anyway, yeah, I've been working in the field of past life regression for 20 years, and my website is pastlifelady.com. How about that?
It is. And oh my goodness, what is going on here? I got things jumping up out of me at the computer that's trying to tell me things that I have that down here. I'm telling you, this
Is
day cracks me
Mercury
up.
in retrograde yet? I don't
I
know.
don't,
Maybe.
is it?
I
It
don't
could
know.
well be.
It's on its way, I'm sure.
Okay, in process. Go away. Sorry, my computer is completely losing its mind. Anyway, Past Life Lady is there, pastlifelady.com. Shelley and I have had an amazing conversation. We're going to have another one today. So today's conversation, let's talk about just from off the top of this. I would love to hear your thoughts about I am where I want to be always.
Wow, it's such a great topic. And yeah, you really set it up perfectly at the beginning of the show, because sometimes we go, wow, everything's wonderful. I'm where I'm supposed to be. And then the rest of the time, and we're all guilty of it. Hello. We're going, I understand that this is where I'm supposed to be, but why
Yeah.
is this, that, and the other not happening? Or why did this happen when I wanted that to happen? And so, it's a constant battle to see the good and understand that, things happen in their own time.
Yeah. Well, and it's a struggle, I think, and I think this is true for most people. And the I don't know how to say this in a polite way. So if you've been on a journey, if you've been, we're all on a journey, right? We're all on this process of evolution, wherever we are. It doesn't matter whether you believe what I believe or you believe something else, or you happen to believe or love, you have a strong spiritual connection through religion, or you have a strong, you don't do anything like that. It doesn't matter. We're all on a journey here. And the point of this to me is there are no accidents. And if we choose to step into this idea of I'm where I want to be always, then we look for the goodness in the situation. We tend to focus differently, because, okay, if I'm where I want to be, why do I want to be here? What's here for me right now? And in those circumstances where we're dealing with uncomfortable situations or relationship problems or whatever the case may be, all of those things are simply there to help us better understand ourselves, to better understand who we are and what we bring to the table. I just got off the phone having had an incredible conversation with someone that I never anticipated having a conversation with about things I didn't ever think I was going to have a conversation about. And that kind of threw me off a little bit today, because I'm like, wow, that's amazing that would happen. But here I am in this situation, and this is showing up, and this is showing up, and this is showing up, and boy, do I feel uncomfortable. But I obviously want to be here because it's where I am. That's the other part of this. It's where I am. Does that make sense? It's like, literally, I'm here. So why not want to be here so that I can go to somewhere else rather than resisting it? I guess is where I'm trying to go with that. Rather than fighting what's showing up, saying, oh, okay, this is interesting. What's this about? What's this here for me? What do you think about that?
Yes. I mean, if we are on a
Oh,
journey, let's say we're in a boat, we're traveling down a river. Okay, we're going to hit a couple rocks once in a while, but we're still going down the river toward the destination,
mhm.
so, we can just, if we can keep, there's a certain, I guess, I've spent a lot of time daydreaming in my life. So sometimes I would imagine future things that I want to happen. And so a certain amount of that is good, but too much of that means that I'm not being in this moment where maybe my boat just hit the rock, right? It's good to hang on to that thing that you want to create, but understand there's a space between where I am today and that place that I'm trying to get to. And it's going to be a lot easier if we can just be in this moment, like you said. I mean, that's where we need to be, but it's very, very difficult. It's a lot easier said than done for everybody, I think.
And I want to acknowledge that, because we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to do my favorite thing, which is kind of that focusing effort in this conversation. But something you just said sparked a very powerful response for me. And that is the understanding that the things that are up, so we all set intention, consciously or unconsciously. We all say, I want to be here. I want to be there. I want to get to this. Not knowing what is there between where we are now and where we want to be. And that's what I want to dive into on the other side, because that's the juice of this and why it's so important to be where you are right now, to want to be there. Because the way we're viewing it is actually probably in reverse of the way we could view it. That makes sense. So We're going to be right back on the other side. I'm going to go into, we take at this point a moment of focus. So Shelley, I'll be right back in a few minutes. Be right back. All right, guys. This is the point in the show. I tell you what, I'm cracking. I'm hoping the meditation helps me today because I am as fragmented as I could possibly feel right now. And I figure if I talk about it, it'll help to dissipate the energy so I'm not feeling a spaz on the TV today. So we're going to take this moment to focus just as much for me as for you. But what I love about this is this is me putting my money where my mouth is. I talk about daily practice all the time. I talk about being still and using your breath. So this gives us an opportunity to do that together, to focus our energies in a way that I feel like is this where two or more are gathered experience. So whether you're with us here in the studio or whether you're listening here or there, that the contribution of your energy to this conversation is significant and important. And your energy helps to bring forward those things that are most important to all of us to hear. So as Shelley and I go through this conversation, we can pick up on things and talk about things that spark the interest because it's coming from all over the place. So what I want us to do is take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I'm going to ask you to continue that breath process throughout this entire process, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just take a couple deep breaths. Good. And just settle into where you are, wherever you are. And just feel into your body. I want you to become aware and present of this moment here and now. And how we do that, as you're focused into the breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let your eyes close and settle in. I want you to focus all of your awareness into your heart, into the center of your chest, into the heart space. And as you're breathing, I want you to become aware of your field. Your field is the energy that surrounds you. Your field is the you of you, the I of you. How we go with that? The I am, the big part of you, the largest part of you. It's there all the time, but we tend not to be aware of it. So I want you to be aware of that field that surrounds you right now and just be conscious of it. Just feel your way into it, however that shows up for you. Some people have smell, some people have sight, some people hear things, other people experience things. So let that experience wash over you, however it shows up for you. Some do it in cartoons, some do it in movies, some do it in song. Let that happen for you, however it does, and just be with whatever that experience is. And as you do, as you're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, become aware of this magnificent field that you are. And then as you're exploring, just notice that there are pockets within this field. There are areas of energy that are denser than other areas of the energetic field. Some are powerfully dense and very heavy, and some are lighter because we're attending to things all the time. We're constantly attending to things in our field. So this is just so you can be aware of how much of your energy is being consumed by the things that you're attending to. And when we don't attend, when we ignore, when we block, when we resist, those energies become denser and more intense, and they consume more of our available energy. And so what I want you to do here as you're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth is I want you to call your field into you, because I want you to have an experience of you from the inside. And you say, but I do that. I'm living from the inside. And I say, yeah, we are living from the inside, but rarely do we stop to experience what's happening on the inside. We're busy reacting to our emotions or fighting our thoughts or trying to be a better human or all the things that come up about this. And this is a time for us to focus here. And so pulling consciously, commanding that field into your heart space, leave all the debris out there. It's going to be there when you're done if it's important. If it's not, the energy will dissipate and go away. But bring that field in and into your heart space, and you'll begin to feel a tingling or a warm sensation as you feel that coalescing of that powerful energy inside your heart space. And now allow that energy as you're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, just allow that powerful energy to start to move through your own body on the inside. So let the energy come up into your head and explore your brain, explore behind your eyes and your sinuses. Touch your pituitary with your awareness. Be aware of all of it and the magnificence of it. And trace around and feel around into the back where the brainstem connects into the spinal cord. And just be the observer of this extraordinary cord that runs from the top of your spine to the bottom of your spine, bathed in liquid, conducting energy and electricity all the time, and then surrounded by bone to protect it. This vital, incredible energy thing that's just energy moving up and down continually, up and down, up and down. And then notice the nerves that come off of that, and notice where they go through your body, and be aware of your organs. And as you're exploring, be aware of the magnificence of the systems that are working without your attention whatsoever. Your human conscious attention is not required necessarily. It's good if it is, but it isn't required for the systems to continue to work. The blood system, the muscular system, the bone system, the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, the adrenal system, their systems just doing everything they can. And that when we get in alignment with ourselves and we begin to harmonize in our own field, we then generate a powerful force within the physical body as well as the energetic body that is constantly renewing. And part of that renewal is through your breath. So we're going to consciously now focus as you let that consciousness roam through your body. Just be aware of the experiences that you're having inside your own body. If something feels a little uncomfortable, just focus a little breath and awareness to it and open it up and let it dissipate. That's all it takes. It doesn't require a whole lot of hammering and banging. And if it doesn't yield right away, it's okay. Breathe into it and continue to focus with us here. And now we're going to bring our awareness fully and completely to the breath. And I want you to inhale to a count of 4. You're going to fill completely to a count of 4, and you're going to rest in the openness. You're going to rest in that fullness, in that richness of fullness. And then you're going to purge all of that energy and air out to a count of 6. And you're going to purge it to the end. And then at the end, you're going to sit in the space of emptiness, the space of void, ready to receive what is next. You are now in the moment as you engage the breath, and then you inhale again. 2, 3, 4, feeling full, feeling amazing, relaxing the shoulders and the neck as you just rest into that full feeling, and then consciously choosing to purge and give it away, to release it back out into the universe. Breathing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we rest in that empty void space, ready to receive, ready for new energy. And you inhale and take in that new life force, that new chi, that new prana on 2, 3, 4, feeling that amazing fullness, feeling it tingling through your entire being, that fresh energy and oxygen. And then you're releasing, surrendering all of it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, releasing to the deepest levels, preparing yourself to receive the next influx of power and love and joy and energy as you take it in. 2, 3, 4, feeling full and amazing and powerful, feeling extraordinary, and then surrendering it all in the moment. Consciously let it go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And continue that rhythm on your own for another couple cycles. And take in these words as you do. Just feel them wash over you. Let them enhance you if they do. I am the evolution of God realized as matter. I inform and guide that expression as the pure expression of God. I show up as God. I connect as God. I align as God. I am creation realized. And from that, I create, expand, and engage. I am. And just feel that through your entire being. Let it wash through you. And now consciously, again, choosing to let the field expand again. And be conscious as your energy moves back out into the world, back out in outside, in just continuing to expand. Notice the incredibleness of this field, this glowing energy that is just emanating from you. This is you. Feel that and be in that. And we're going to bring Shelley back into the conversation as we carry on this amazing topic today about being right where you are and being right where you're supposed to be. Hello again. Welcome back.
Hello. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Loved
Absolutely.
it.
Appreciate it. So before the break, we were talking about, I thought I wrote it down. I did, didn't I? Anyway, yes. We were talking before the break, and we were getting into the topic about how I am where I want to be always. And what struck me about that was I lost my track. I'm so disjunct. Come on, Jim.
I think we were talking about, the journey, and that we're either fighting it or we're going with it. But sometimes it's hard to say, I am where I want to be, when we're thinking, am I really? Because I thought I wanted this, that, and the other, and it just hasn't shown up yet.
Yes, and it was about destination. It was about understanding we start from a position wherever we are in our beliefs and our ideas and our thoughts and our concepts. We start at a place of wherever we are right now, and we have this desire to be there, to be somewhere more or greater or better or whatever the case may be. I think I'd have to say all of those because I don't know anyone who dreams down.
Right.
So we all dream up. We all dream for more. And the thing to remember is that between where you are right now and where you want to be is a destination, but it is also a journey. And that journey means that where I am at energetically, where my field is right now, if I was in the energetic space, I would be where I want to be right now. But I'm not, because I'm seeing it as a desire. So I still see me and that place as separate. But what has to happen is that this field, my field, has to come into alignment with that new place, that new destination, that new desire. And so the things that we're encountering along the way on our path are the things that we have called forth by the desire we have asked for. So if you're struggling with something, the struggle is because it's where you want to be, because it's on the journey to where you want to be, where you want to go. And we get so myopic in our experience that we forget that we asked for that we called that forth into our world. And then our world goes boom, and flips upside down and goes, okay, this is what you wanted, boom, boom, boom. And suddenly the fireworks are going off and you're going, why has my life gone to hell? What is going on? And it's not at all. That's why we come back to it's no, you're exactly where you wanted to be, because you're wanting to be at this new destination, and you got to prepare. You got to be ready. You got to be energetically aligned to that place. And you got a few things that are in the way. That's why you have the desire, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right that sometimes we think we want things, and then when they show up, we're going, OMG, seriously? Like, this isn't what I wanted after all, because, it happens sometimes, and then we have to reevaluate. I mean, there's that too.
Yes. And the thing that you are an expert on, I think, plays a lot into this, which is the whole idea that we don't know what we don't know. And so we say, I don't want to be here, but that's not true, because if you didn't want to be here, you wouldn't be here. I know that sounds crazily existential, but it's the reality of the reality. It is, we are where we want to be, but because of the things we don't know, largely, what baggage did we bring from past life to this life? As we move through our experiences, we don't have a conscious recollection until we're in it, until we're there experiencing it. We don't know what those influences are. So as we move through this, that's why the work that you do is so extraordinary, because it helps people to connect dots that are outside of the realm of their rational dots.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not linear. We don't live in a linear experience. We live in a multidimensional experience. So when you think linearly in a multidimensional experience, you shut down the multidimensional experience, because you're not, when I say shut down, that's not really possible, but I mean, you you restrict the flow. Let's say it that way. You cut off the juice when you live linearly in a dimensional reality, because you're not allowing yourself. When you live in fear, you're looking through a monocle. You're not seeing all of the potential that exists or even experiencing any of it. And so it begins to feel heavy and daunting and yucky, when it's really the potential for the breakthrough. It's the power of the breakthrough. What are your thoughts about those generational and past life influences that show up in this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned linear, and I think, in the regression processes, we create with our imaginations the linear construct in those spaces so that we can go access these multi-dimensional spaces, because the three-dimensional selves that we are in this moment seems to understand things in a linear way, and it helps us make sense of the world around us. But in reality, like you said, this isn't actually a linear place at all. So we can pretend like we're here now, and we can go into the past, we can go into the future, and act like that's linear, but of course it really isn't. And I think you're right. We don't like what we feel. Weird. We know we want something else, but we don't even understand how to move forward in that. And just by expanding, like what you're talking about, and opening up to the multidimensional possibilities, it is really powerful. Because I think that, sometimes when the thing we want hasn't shown up yet, I have finally, in this, as I get older, let's just say, I kind of understand, wait a minute, maybe there's someone I need to meet, or there's a book I needed to read, or an experience that I need to have first to make me the person who, like you said earlier, is in alignment with that thing that I'm asking for or wanting, and I'm not there yet. And so it is very hard to just enjoy this moment and actually do, that saying, that slogan, like, let's enjoy the journey. Well, okay, we can say it, but we're not always doing it. So
Yeah.
I think you're right. And so we can access past lives. We can access all kinds of different places. They're not really in the past, though, because they're happening at the same moment that this moment is happening. And just kind of being peace about where we're at,
Yes. Which again adds to the whole idea of I'm where I want to be, always, because, and I think this is an important part of this, is we don't, I say it again, we don't know what we don't know. So rather than, and what happens, I think, and I've noticed this in my own experience, that I tend to, when I'm being too linear, or when I'm not being comfortable, is largely because I've decided to make whatever I'm experiencing about me, instead of about a situation that needs to be addressed, or the experience that needs to be observed, or the change in the belief system that has to happen. So it's like I almost automatically put a level of resistance into the process by thinking it's about me, when it's really not about me. In the small sense, when I say about me, I'm talking about our small s self ego that thinks everything's about it. But when you're confronted with things that stimulate a negative experience in you, it's kind of human nature to go there, to go, geez, what did I do? Even as kids, we had that experience. If the parents were having a problem, we blamed ourselves for that. As kids, we blame us. We go, this is not harmony. This is not love. What did I do? Well, how did this get here? Why am I feeling this? I must have done something wrong. And we carry that through our life experience, to the point where as adults, then it changes, it radically changes how we address problems, because it becomes all about me instead of all about what the energy is that I'm dealing with. And as soon as we get me out of the picture, suddenly the energy starts to make sense. Suddenly you can see and start to make connections to those things. And again, it reinforces the joy of wanting to be exactly where I am, because this is where I'm experiencing the most of me. I hope that wasn't too circuitous.
No, I love it. I agree. I think I've come to feel, again, this is my opinion, that there's at least some things that we have made decisions about before we arrived, but yet now that we're here, we don't seem to remember what all those things are. And so this idea that we are, I know, right? What the heck was I thinking? But the reality is, because we probably did make some of these arrangements in advance. It's like booking a hotel room. This may be not exactly what I had in mind, but this is what it is. And so I am where I wanted to be, because I probably planned some of this out before I arrived.
Yes, I agree with that. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to do a quick commercial, and then Shelley, you're going to have a couple minutes to talk to the people and share with them. I do have, I'm pretty sure it's your latest book. Do I still have the right one?
Yes, this is my new one.
Yes. So we're going to take a quick minute here. I want to be able to have you talk to the people and share about your book and your website and all the amazing work that you do, because I see you everywhere. And we'll be right back right after this. If I push my buttons right.
Science of Transformation method, and I can't tell you the difference that it's made in my life.
This program is all about you coming into the greatest form of you. All right, guys, www.thesciencetransformation.com. Love to work with you. Check out the website there. You can sign up to get a free consult with me to find out if working together is what's going to work for you. You can also see some videos and testimonials, and you can schedule sessions. So www.sciencetransformation.com. Let's check it out. And we're going to bring Shelley back in, and Shelley is going to spend a few minutes here talking to you about all the amazing work that she's doing with her new book and all that good stuff. So Shelley, the floor is yours.
Thank you. You know, I wanted to, the video that Jim just showed of the chess board and the pieces moving one step at a time. I think this is how our life is, you know, like our lives are unfolding in front of us each moment that we are alive. And each moment we're faced with decisions. Do I go left? Do I go right? And so the kind of work I do with past lives, taking people into past lives, different dimensions of reality, into visionary encounters with, you know, lost loved ones. And then my new book is about going in and actually having a visionary encounter with your ancestors to send the healing light to ancestors. Just all of these different kinds of interdimensional journey work that I've been doing with people for 20 years is really speaking to what Jim and I are talking about today, which is that, you know, we are where we want to be. We are where we're supposed to be, let's say, on some level, not shitting ourselves, but just knowing that we made a plan, and that even though we can't see the end result yet, we're on a path and that journey that we were talking about earlier. And so we just have to consistently move forward in the direction that feels empowering and feels like where we want to go. And so in the books that I've written, I try to just give you readers some actual exercises so that you can do these things for yourselves, because I feel like we all have the power within ourselves to move into the life that we truly want to live. So that's it.
That's awesome. And agreed. And I've read, you know, the thing I love about your books is that you provide a ton of material of actual experiences of people, stuff that from beginning to middle to end, how people move through these things and how they experience them, and in addition to just understanding how they influence us and how important they are. So good. So I'm going to put the book up here in just a second so everybody can see it. Heal Your Ancestors to Heal Your Life. And that's out now? That's actually,
yes,
that's available now, because I know last time we talked, it was just coming. Yes.
Yes.
And then also Healing Arts is still happening. You're still doing
Yes, I've got a Healing Arts podcast, and I have an online school. And then my book, Past Lives with Pets, was just nominated for a COVR award.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting. Good stuff. All right. So we are carrying on. The next part of this conversation that I wanted to have was about now bringing in the idea of appreciation and gratitude and connection, and how those are so impactful to helping come to that place of being where you want to be. Meaning, it isn't just about sitting back and letting it all smack you around and kind of going, okay, I guess this is where I wanted to be. And you can do it that way. But I think to get to a place where you're feeling engaged in that, yes, I am where I want to be because it is on the destination to what I'm attempting to create, is finding those places of appreciation and gratitude and connection, being able to really appreciate where you are, what's happening. And again, the antithesis of fear. You're not contracting, you're expanding into, you're opening up to, through appreciation and gratitude, to connect to this energy so that you can be informed in a much deeper, more profound way that takes you exactly where you want to go. So that the journey becomes this magical process because you see, as you're evolving in real time, how important these things that you're learning about yourself are to getting where you want to get to. And even better than that is that when you do achieve that result, when you get to that destination, what you're able to experience of the things that you allowed to happen on the journey that made this realization so incredible. At least that's my own personal experience, that upon arrival, you go, wow, I couldn't have gotten here without A, B, C, D, E, wouldn't have happened. So how cool is it that I was always where I wanted to be, and now I'm even more where I want to be? Any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think that I've been having some things lately. It reminds me of what you talked about at the beginning of the show, how you had a conversation today with someone that kind of blew your mind. Mm-hmm. So I had something similar happen recently. It was a conversation that I had been thinking about for almost 20 years. Wow. And so, it's one of those kind of things. And you're having this conversation just going, OMG. And like you said, that is the moment when you can then go, oh my gosh, I see it now. I see why I had to do this, 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 and this, and this, so that this conversation that I'm currently having today could happen. And then all that hardship and beating my head against the wall and struggling and pitching a fit or whatever it is that all of us do, because we're all doing it. Thank you. Yes. Suddenly goes, wow, you know what? None of that really matters anymore because I get it now. And I think if we have little moments, we have to be paying attention to these little epiphanies as the universe throws them at us. But, there's a space between today and where I want to be. We think that's tomorrow, but tomorrow might be several years from now. Yes. But we just have to keep our eyes open because that miracle, that thing that's in our heart, I really believe wouldn't be in our heart if it wasn't something that we either, was really truly good for us or meant for us. Yes. If it stays in the heart for a long period of time, I think that's how the universe gives you a clue that these things are coming, but they just take longer than we think. So a couple of little epiphanies like that kind of keeps you going to where you really can eventually go, wait a minute, I am where I want to be. And this may not look like what I want right now, but we have to get away from looking at what the external looks like and think about the inner vision and hold the feelings of what that's going to feel like when we get to that place that we want. And also, though, at the same time, knowing that some things that we're asking for down the road, again, we're going to get a clue sometimes that we're going to go, oh, thank God I didn't get that because that would have been a disaster, and just take a moment and be thankful for that, and it's a weird mix of all these things that we really are living. We're here for reasons that maybe we don't fully understand, but we're on a journey together as a collective humanity and as an individual, as a soul who's trying to grow and learn. And so let's just try to embrace all of this weirdness as best we can and try to have a good time.
Yeah. And that is the challenge sometimes, isn't it though? We get so bogged down in the moment that we lose perspective of the bigger picture. And I guess it's kind of the curse, kind of the beauty of this whole human experience. But so many things you were saying just light up for me. When you think about the more that you attend to the journey and the more that you, that as an individual, I know for myself, as I focus in on, okay, I'm building something, and realizing that as these things show up, there is juice in there for me. And the reason that thing is there is to make me stronger, to make me clearer, to make me better, or to help me shift my focus, so that thing I think I want, like you were talking about, just naturally sort of goes by the wayside, because the where your energy has gravitated to in the journey has lit you up in a way that you didn't even realize was possible, which is not about the thing you originally thought about. But because you've given yourself to the journey and you're okay with where you are, you begin to allow for that. That's, I think, part of the trust and faith process too, is that, or even as we're talking about here, the connection that through appreciation, through gratitude, through that, you are opening up a highway, a super highway between yourself and your higher self, and all of the universe for that matter, and all of the other souls that are out there that are moving through this process, that are supporting this evolution that we can't experience when we've limited ourselves to just seeing this tiny little human being that seems to be having a problem at the moment.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And that problem that we're having at the moment, we're having it and it doesn't feel good, but maybe some years from now, it's going to be another thing. We're going to go, thank God that happened, because if that hadn't happened, then this other thing wouldn't happen, and I wouldn't be able to help so-and-so with this. So even those things are happening for a reason. It's harder to be in that gratitude in those moments when it's really tough, but later down the road, in hindsight, these things can be very, very valuable.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I found over time, and particularly I'm noticing this a lot in my recent world, is I always struggled with this sort of amorphous concept of love. I call it the amorphous concept, like this big giant bubble of love, and just get into the love. And what I have found recently is it's not in any way that. Over the last it's been growing for a long time, but I'm out actively working energetically, generating and emanating love in my experience, and consciously choosing to put that love into relationships. And if I'm struggling with something, to wrap it in love and let the love that I'm generating help to soften, help to clarify, help to heal, whatever the case may be. But it's such a profound thing that it's not just lip service. It's a very real, very deeply powerful experience when you get that love piece and start to incorporate that in your journey, because then you really begin to see in even more powerful ways how remarkable things show up. How remarkably like you said, some person shows up, a conversation shows up, an event shows up that you could never have dreamed of or even thought of before. And there it is right there, because you brought love to the equation. And that opens up all possibility. And that's a whole different world to live in than the restricted fear world. So the more you can generate that, the more you choose it, the more you step into it, even if you're only giving lip service to it at the beginning, because you're not sure what it feels like, just doing that invokes it. So you're never away from it, because it's all of who we are. The rest of this nonsense is just the stuff we manufacture that makes us crazy. But the core of who we are is this love that's just emanating. And typically we tend to, through this not being happy about where we are, we tend to shut it down, we close it down, we dim that light. And that's not what we want to do. We really want the light to shine bright. We all do. And that's how we do that, by getting into that space of I am where I want to be always. And I can just bring love to this situation. I can bring appreciation. I can bring gratitude. I can bring connection. That's all part of that. So my next thought, connecting the dots. So we talked a little bit about this, the past, history and life experience. And to me, connecting dots is everything. I call it connecting dots. It's just sort of a life. When I work with clients, it's the same. It's helping people connect the dots in their own lives, because a lot of times people go from this dot to some dot that's like in some other dimension that isn't related to anything that's going on for them, because they're stuck in their emotions, or they're stuck in their mind, or in a situation. Connecting dots is all about, to me, the more you get in alignment of saying, I am where I want to be, you are allowing for all possibility. And so therefore you can start to see how things connect, because the universe can show you things that you were not able to see before. And that includes your history, that includes past lives, that includes generational aspects. All of those things deeply influence us. I mean, how can you not how could you not think that the generations, even the ones that are still on the planet from you, don't have a profound impact on you and your thought process and your, I kind of think that with each generation, we get a new ability to break strands of history. We get a new possibility of breaking down belief systems that have been around for decades and hundreds and thousands of years, because on the leading edge, as we are, every new being born onto this planet at the leading edge of consciousness, at the leading edge of the experience, calling forth this crazy desire for more. And so we get every generation gets an opportunity to break those ties. And that's another way that we get to be more present in our experiences.
Absolutely. We're really in a very time altering moment in history right now. And, as we do tune into the love that's within us. And I like your meditation too, because the idea is bringing that energy and awareness inside the body. It's not out there, it's in here. And let that love start here first and then giving it to others. That's really where it has to start. And we are paradigm shifters, and we're just moving into just expansive new frontiers, really, of consciousness right now. It's a very exciting time to be alive, to say the least.
And to see it unfolding in real time is almost like you got to stop and go, did that just happen? Did I just watch that? Holy cow. I never thought I would be alive to see alternate realities separating in front of me. You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen? It's just crazy good. So we have about 3 minutes, because I know you have another engagement, and I want to honor that for you. And what I'd like to do with that is to give you the floor here for the second to what message would you like to share with everybody there about this idea of I am where I want to be always?
There's an
or whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great topic. There's an aspect of, even if you're not loving what you're looking at with your eyes and in your exterior world, if you can just at least say, you know what, these things are happening for a reason. This moment is as it should be. All is well. And I still hold the vision for what I'm wanting to achieve. And I know that in this moment, I'm getting what I need. And so in the next moment, it's going to move closer to where I'm going. And the next moment and the next moment, it's an unfolding. And just know that even if you're struggling right now, which a lot of people are, I mean, this last year has been incredibly challenging, but also there's so many gifts that we've been given during this time of being, of sitting still, of getting a time to really unplug from reality and reevaluate. Am I where I want to be? And if not, okay, great. There's probably been some shifts that can help move us in the directions that we want to go, but we're in a transformational time. So hang in there and just keep going. And even if it's not good right now, it's going to get better. It has to, because everything is changing, and it's wonderful.
That's a beautiful thing. And the only thing I would add to that is, I was thinking as you were talking, the piece that sometimes is lacking is the personal responsibility, is the willingness to just say, I brought this in. I did this.
Yes.
Okay. Why? Just ask why. What is this about? Because as soon as we can do that, then the path begins to open up. It's
That's right.
The challenge is first into that. Yeah, it's okay to take it, because while you may not be happy about why you created it, you need to know why you created it. You need to be a part of that evolution because it's important to your growth. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. Otherwise, it wouldn't have shown up. So, Shelley, you're amazing. I appreciate your patience with my technical issues today and your time and energy. I really appreciate you very much, and I appreciate your incredible energy. And this has been a great show. I'm going to close it out, but I'm going to let you go because I know you want to have some minutes before your next thing. So, thank you so much.
Jim, I appreciate your friendship and your message. Your book is fantastic. You need to pick it up, friends.
And you too. Thank you.
Blessings,
very much,
blessings.
Talk soon. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Whoops. This way. There we go. All right, guys. So just to wrap this up for us today, I want to talk a little bit more on this responsibility piece because I think it's important. But understanding that I am where I want to be always is not a judgment against anything. It's not a prescription against anything. It is a place to be in the world, in your consciousness, in your life, that allows for all possibility to exist. And that if I have a desire and that desire is strong and I put that desire out and I want to move myself to be able to be that person that I know I can be, then know that there is a journey between here and there, but that is where you want to be because you chose the journey. You chose the outcome. You're choosing the destination. And there are things that have to happen between here and there. No different than taking a trip, right? If you're going to go on vacation, you're not just going to drop everything and walk out of the house and go on a vacation. You have to plan. You have to book tickets. You may have to rent a car. You may have to pack. You may have to make arrangements where you're going to be. There are all those things that have to happen in order for that trip to take place. It's no different in consciousness. You just don't necessarily know what you have to unpack on the way because we don't know what we don't know. So being in that space of appreciation and gratitude and awe and responsibility allows us then to settle into this experience and say, this is the steps I'm taking and these are beautiful. And yeah, I'm uncomfortable. And yeah, I don't feel great right now, but it's taking me where I need to go. And because of my willingness to tap into that, I'm more available to what is the solution instead of what is the problem. So on that note, I wish you all an amazing rest of your day. And I thank you for being a part of the show. I thank you for showing up and being here with us and appreciate you so much. I appreciate Shelley for being here. She's an amazing human being. Please get her book and check out her bibliography because she has incredible work, and her life and her work in past lives and ancestors is incredible and something that we all can get great value from because it really does have impact in our world. So to all of you out there, thank you for being part of the family. Thank you for being a part of the show. Have an amazing weekend, and I will look forward to seeing you next time on Adventures in Truth. Thanks, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Adventures in Truth Livecast. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you'd like to learn more about Jim's book, Fear is a Choice, Unraveling the Illusion of Our Separation from Love, check it out at www.fearisachoicebook.com. Also check out Moments of Truth, a new offering from Adventures in Truth. If you'd like to work with Jim, check out www.thesciencetransformation.com to book a session. Tune in live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time and every Friday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Or look for our new releases and podcasts every Monday. Until next time, be well, and we'll see you again on Adventures in Truth Livecast.